Hey everybody, I'm Mallory. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for around 2 years, and I've been practicing yoga since I was 16, and I'm 25 now. So it's been a pretty big part of my life for a good amount of time. At different points in my life, yoga has become more about pain treatment and pain prevention, especially because a lot of my lifestyle includes sitting in chairs, which really has contributed to low back tightness, hip tightness, low back discomfort, shoulder discomfort. I'm sure these are all things that most people can relate to. If you're anyone that's ever sat in a chair for longer than you wanted to sit in that chair, this is a good video for you. So I really want to talk about the cat-cow poses that we use in yoga, and how these particular poses can also be integrated to other poses, and how it can all be tied in really beautifully. It's a foundational shape that can carry on in terms of your pelvic awareness. So we're going to start by sitting down on the floor. If you're not able to get on the floor, you can always sit in a chair and do this, but if you're able to sit down, I highly encourage you to get on the floor. So I'm just going to back the camera up a bit to show you. So I'm sitting cross-legged, crisscross applesauce style, and I'm going to sit this way so that you can see my spine. So I want to make sure that my spine is nice and tall and long. I'm not overexerting like this. This is how a lot of people would think is sit up tall, just go like this. That's not good. And this is how we sit at the computer all day, right? So it's not this, just this. This is sitting up straight and tall. You want your shoulders down away from your ears, tailbone is neutral, crown of the head is lifted tall, and you want to send the head back a bit. We have a tendency culturally to sort of lunge our heads forward, looking at phones, computers. Also, just we tend to be much more, going for, just leaning forward as a culture rather than going back. So keep your shoulders down away from your ears and start to send your ears back towards your shoulders. You'll feel a really nice stretch in the top of the spine. So from here, I'm going to keep my hands on my knees, and I'm going to alternate between a U shape and a C shape. The U shape is cow, as I'm sending my tailbone back, my heart lifts, my shoulders drop away from my ears, and my chin lifts towards the sky. And then exhale, I'm going to tuck my tailbone, send my spine down, draw my shoulders down, and then drop the chin to really get a nice C shape. This is my cat spine. Think of like a scared Halloween cat. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise the heart towards the sky, the shoulders down. And then exhale, tilt forward, drawing the chin to the chest. So while I'm doing this, I'm really making sure that these poses are originating from the pelvis. So important. You don't want the shoulders to be leading or the head to be leading. You want to start from the base. Very important. That way, it's sort of just an undulation, right? Just going up and down, sort of like a curving S almost. So inhale through the nose, come into that nice open shape. Exhale through the nose, come into that closed shape. And you can do that a few times until you feel ready to move on to the next shape that we're going to take. So coming on to hands and knees. And again, if you are someone that is not ready today to come onto your hands and knees, we can always do this continuing on the seat or on the chair. But this is just another step further. So if you have any knee problems, you can always pad up with a pillow or blanket under the knees. Feels really nice. Even if you don't have knee problems, you can do that. And if you're having any problems or sensations in the wrists from arthritis or injury, you can always come down onto the forearms. Really good, a modification. So from here, I'm going to do the same exact kind of thing. I'm stacking my spine. So I'm aligning my spine, I'm aligning it nice and tall, nice and straight. So you'll see that I'm not just slumping into it, I'm not like dropping into it, nice and strong. My elbows are stacked over my wrists, and my shoulders are stacked over my elbows, and my hips are evenly stacked over my knees at a 90-degree angle. So it's not too much like this or too far like this, right? Nice and even. So just like we were doing before, I'm going to inhale, send the pelvis back. Drop my belly, drop my shoulders away from my ears, look up. And then exhale, tilt the tailbone down, draw the spine up. Shoulders will come up towards the ears a little bit. And drop your chin to your chest. Let's take a few rounds like this. Inhale, open to cow. Exhale, close for cat. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. So for some of us, it might actually be painful to come into cow, into this shape, because if we're dealing with any sensation in the low back from either sciatic pain or pre-existing injury or anything like that, it might hurt today to do that. So I'll offer you another variation that you could work with. We'll be coming from cat to child's pose, which is a really nice modification. It looks like this. So let me just lean the camera a little more forward so you'll be able to see. So I'm going to start in the same kind of thing, tabletop, same kind of alignment. I'm going to come into the cat pose as I inhale. Exhale, sit down for child's pose. Send my hips to my heels. If you're really tight and you're not coming exactly to your ankles, that's okay. You can work towards it. Everything takes practice and time. So again, inhale, come into cat. Exhale, sit back to child's pose, forehead towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take two more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So from here, we're going to lead up to what I'm going to finish with for a wide-legged forward bend. And it's going to integrate this cat-cow movement in a really beautiful way. So you'll be able to see how it layers. So, first thing that I want to really draw attention to is that this is a pose that might intimidate some people because it looks extremely difficult to have your legs wide and then start to fold down. A lot of people might say, no, it's not for me. I want to still encourage everyone to try because there are modifications for this. I'm not expecting everyone to flatten out like a pancake. I can only speak from my own experience. And like I said, I'm 25 years old. I've been practicing yoga for a pretty long time, for around 9 years, and I've only been able to really get deeper into this particular posture within maybe the last 3 or 4 years. I don't have a big dance background. I was never a gymnast. I have basically normal flexibility and strength. I wouldn't say that I'm extreme in any direction. I'm not quite the Tin Man, but I'm also not quite, a Cirque du Soleil performer. And it just, every day is a practice. I'm able to do something some days, and sometimes I'm not. And a lot of my practice is based on working towards little goals, and I encourage you to do the same because it works to have little goals. So anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to open up my legs wide as you can. And then from here, I'm going to sit up nice and tall, just like we've been doing. And again, not too much and not a schlump, because this is how you sit at work. We're trying to counter it, so sit up nice and tall. From here, you're going to flex your foot. So look at this foot. It's not pointed, it's flexed. Toes are up towards the ceiling, or towards the sky, in my case. So from here, I'm going to bring my hands behind my back, and I'm going to keep this alignment. And I could be here for days, not consistently days, but if you're practicing every day, this could be your practice for day after day, just being here for around 20 breaths, always in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking your time, inhale, exhale. So from here, if you're able to go a little bit further, or eventually when you do go further, you're going to want to integrate that cat-cow movement that we've been working with. So everyone's going to take their right hand and place it in front of your pelvis, so right here. And everyone's going to take their left hand, bring it behind them. My shoulders are down away from my ears while I'm doing this. From here, I'm just going to rock my pelvis. Notice my shoulders aren't moving. I'm just sending my pelvis forward and back. I'm going to take this opportunity now to talk about pelvic awareness and injury prevention. I don't know where I've heard it, but someone has said to me at some point in my life that awareness of your pelvis will keep injury prevention astray. That's if you know where your pelvis is, you won't fall down, which I think is very funny to say it that way, because obviously we always know our pelvis is going to be below our belly button. It's not going to run away. But if you have the mindset of body awareness and spatial awareness, knowing exactly how much room you take up, so to speak, it will be able to help you prevent injury. So just being aware of that is a great benefit of yoga. So from here, I'm going to continue doing this. You can do this for 20 breaths or so. And if you want to go a little further, you're going to keep that tilt. So the tailbone is coming back and the belly button is going towards the earth. So from here, I'm keeping my flat spine, my nice long flat back. I'm not going to come like this because that's the way we sit at work and we're trying to counter that. Keeping a nice long spine. Always think of folding like a piece of paper. First the belly, then the chest, then your face. So if you get your face down before your belly, you're just messing it up for yourself. Again, the feet are staying flexed to protect the hamstrings. Shoulders are relaxed. So this is a big stretch. And you might be here for a while. You can also go a little bit deeper if it's available. And maybe one day you do flatten like a pancake. But then it's really not important if you do. It's just where your body is in terms of your practice. And you can be wherever you are for a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, start to come back up. Bring the legs together. And then go hang out. Do whatever you want. You could also lay on the floor for Shavasana, which is also a great thing. But sometimes you don't have time and this is all you can do. I highly encourage people to do these particular poses every single day. Definitely do Shavasana if you have time for it, which is just laying on the floor and breathing. The most important pose. But sometimes we're in a rush and we just want to do what's going to efficiently help us feel better right away. So yeah, I encourage you to do these every single day because you sit at work every single day, you sit in the car every single day. You need to counter these things to make sure that your spine stays healthy, right? And a healthy spine will really help you all throughout your life. It's not just for today. It's something consistent. So anyway, I hope that everyone can get some use out of these poses, and definitely write to me, write questions. If you have anything to say, I'd really love to hear it. So, namaste.